You're up and about?
Yes, well, what's left of me.
How are you doing?
Well, for someone with a 10-inch gash across their chest and missing a breast and looking forward to chemotherapy, I'd say just fine, thank you.
It's good to hear. This is from Maxie. She heard you were in the hospital. She tells everybody you're the person who saved her life. She knows you're going to be okay because you're at General Hospital, and it's the best hospital in the whole wide world, and it has the best doctors and nurses. And she's right.
Well, you should be their resident fundraiser. Well, you thank Maxie for me, and I'll write her a note.
She'll love it. She loves getting mail. During the month that I was in the hospital with Maxie, there were times when I needed to talk about what was happening. And then there were times when I didn't even want to hear it mentioned. It's her call.
You can stop trying not to look at my chest, Felicia. Be thankful it's covered up, really. I gave in to temptation and took a peek. It was a ghastly mistake.
It's going to take some getting used to.
Well, that's perceptive. How do you get used to being lopsided? I mean, this was not the biggest breast in the world, mind you, but it has left me sort of off-center. Just kind of leaning to the right. Although, now that I think of it, being Edward's daughter-in-law, that would make me politically appropriate.
When do you start chemo?
In a few days.
If there's anything I can do to help.
Everybody has asked me that. Really, everybody. And I have racked my brains to think of how you could help. And I finally figured it out. You all can take chemotherapy for me.
After what you did for Maxie, I would do chemo for you. As long as you could get the benefit, I'd be first in line to do it. Along with Alan and Bobbie and plenty of other people, I'm sure.
Well, no, not Alan. No. He's much too proud to still have all his hair. Besides, he does his bit. He gets into bed every night and he faces a glaring red incision where his wife's breasts used to be.
Seen plenty of incisions.
Really difficult to fondle an incision.
He knows that incision means that they took out the cancer and that you're going to live. Every time I look at Maxie's scar on her chest, I thank God.
Well, you know, aside from having such a beautiful daughter, which you do, you also have a very beautiful body, Felicia, that simply reeks with healthiness. You also have a head of hair that I don't think has any danger of falling out, ever. And you could get any man you wanted in Port Charles. I really don't think that you have the kind of problems that warrant telling somebody else to be grateful for theirs.
Pregnant? Does that count?
Well, congratulations, I think.
Right. It's definitely what you call a mixed blessing. Now that Maxie is finally back on her feet and she's going back to school, I get thrown in the middle of a nursery with dirty diapers and 4 a.m. feedings with no husband. I know what I'm up against. It's emotionally draining, and it's a financial strain and the sheer physical exhaustion.
Well, is marrying the father an option?
I don't know who the father is at this point.
That it definitely is a problem. Yes, I assume that the field is limited.
Well, it's either Mac or Frisco. I'm having an amnio today.
Well, you're going to need blood tests.
Right. And of course, Frisco isn't available, as usual. So I just have to tell Mac everything, even though it may not even be his child. I just don't want him to feel like he's trapped into a marriage that he didn't even want. Actually, the same goes with Frisco. So when you said that I had my choice of men, it sort of hit home.
Felicia, no matter who the father is, it's going to be a very beautiful baby. And you're going to make one hell of a mother. You are young, you're bright, you're healthy. And there aren't going to be any problems. You'll work through them. And this is sounding very much like what you've just said to me.
Yes. Well, you have 2 children and one husband to help you through all those difficult times.
And you have 2 breasts.
Which will have stretch marks eventually.
Oh, well, then I can help you solve 50% of that problem really fast.
Well, I bet you have medical insurance. I'm all out.
Why don't you marry a doctor? I mean, the way you're going, what's one more man?
All right.
I'm
All right. You know what you can tell all those people that ask, what can they do? You can say, well, I'm going to have a sister as a one-breasted women. Any volunteers? I bet Bobbie would do it.
No, she wouldn't. Oh, no, not with what she, and no, I don't think so.
You wouldn't believe the depths that women will go to in order to compete sexually.
No, I was, Alan, actually, I think if the whole town of women just had one breast, then he wouldn't be so.
What? What is going on here?
You don't want to know.
Okay, fine. Felicia, you come back as often as you like, all right?
Oh, dear. Oh,
are you okay?
Well, actually, it only hurts when I laugh. Ouch.
Hey,
How's Monica?
I wish I knew. Physically, she's healing. I mean, her body's making all the necessary adjustments, but emotionally, changed from moment to moment.
To belabor the obvious, my friend, she has been through major surgery, and she lost a breast, so naturally she's depressed.
And she's angry and terrified and withdrawn.
And that's the hard part, isn't it?
Yeah, she's my wife. I want to help her. It's only very occasionally she allows me to comfort her. The rest of the time, I feel totally useless to her.
Alan, it'll get better. It really will.
Yeah, well, she has her moments. Felicia stopped by to see her. I walked in on the 2 of them. They were absolutely hysterical with laughter.
Well, you see now, there's nothing more positive than a good laugh.
I want to laugh with her. I don't want her to feel alone.
You know, Alan, there's nothing more any of us could do for Monica. Just like you couldn't force her into having a mammogram, you can't force her pace at coming to grips with life after breast surgery. She has to do that on her own. And when she needs you, she'll let you know.
I'll try and remember that. Thank you.
Alan, have you heard anything about a dam breaking upriver? Amy mentioned that the catacombs were flooding to handle the overage.
Yeah, I heard a little something about that on the news.
Oh, I was hoping he was mistaken.
Why do you care?
You remember that plan I had for Damien the other day? If I cut out all the lights and I left him there.
In the catacombs?
Yeah. You think I'm an awful person?
Are you kidding me? I think you're brilliant. He deserved all that and more. Only thing is, the place is flooding. We probably ought to get him out of there.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, good things must come to an end. Well, I guess an anonymous phone call to the police should take care of it.
God, I wish I was a bat in the catacombs right now.